Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at some panel meters. And panel meters are gauges that would be attached to different instruments or machinery, so you can measure things like this one measures pressure, this one measures amps, volts, this one is AC volts, and what else we have? This one just says A on it, which would be amps. I have to clean it a little bit more to find out what kind of amps it is. And then this one is a little bit more modern one. This one measures multiple things here, volts. Probably, I'm guessing maybe it came off of, well, maybe not off of multimeter. It's got screws for mounting it. But anyway, it'll measure things. There was probably some kind of a selector switch that went with it. So we're going to take a look at those. And then we got the small one here. This is just a very small Lafayette amp meter here. So let's take a look. We're going to clean them up first and then see if we can measure a voltage through them and see if they actually work, because they're a lot easier to sell if they work. So let's just start with this one right here. This is a pressure meter, and you see it's got connections back here for whatever pressure you might be measuring. It's measured in millimeters. So let's take a look. Microns. Oh, all right. It's made by General Electric. So let's take a look here. We're going to try and clean this one up. And for this one, I'm going to use one of my favorite cleaning products is rubbing alcohol. This one is 91%. All right, so we'll just put a little on here. We'll just try a little test spot on the glass here. It's generally safe on glass. Oh yeah, there we go. That cleans it up. Cleans the glass up really nicely. These things were, I bought them at a vintage electronics show, which was held in Southfield, Michigan. And the owner of them, the person that was selling them, had them on a table, just said make an offer. So I got the ones together that looked like they might be working. I could see the needle would bounce back and forth. And I said, oh, well, these would probably sell. I could probably get a lot more than $10 for all of them. So, but they do need some cleaning up. So I'm just going to see if I can get some of this initial dirt off of them. And then we'll see where we have to go from there. So we'll just try one here. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Looks like there's probably some dirt. I don't know if it's just, it might be on the inside of the glass, or it's just something stickier. I'll have to test it. Got some plastic scrapers. There. Well, that's a lot easier to sell when it looks a little bit better like that. But I'll see if I can get this off of there too. I'll have to find something that will remove that. All right, let's move on to this one here. This is a AC voltage meter. It's made by the Weston Electrical Instrument Corporation in Newark, New Jersey. All right, let's just start with this. Maybe you happen to know what these might have come off of. If you do, let me know in the comments. They're off of some kind of machinery. They're called panel meters because you can see that there's screw holes here around the side, and it'll be mounted onto a panel, like an electrical panel or something, or some machine, so that you could keep an eye on voltage, make sure it's not going too high or too low. This one goes from 0 up to 8 volts AC. So I'm not really sure what that would go for. Perhaps like even could be like an old furnace or something like that, or who knows what. Let's take a look at this big boy here. Let's see if we get the crud off of that. Like I said, some of them might be on the inside. I said these came out of, she said that they came out of her barn. And I'm going, what are you doing with these in your barn? I don't know. I thought that might be for animals, but it's probably like for storage. Or it's just kind of like instead of having your stuff up in an attic, she kept everything in a barn. So I can feel here that It feels like it's on the outside. So this might be on the, that might be on the inside. I wonder how they get dirty on the inside, but the back looks fine. That's not a problem. We'll have to come back and see if we can scrape that off too with something. And so this is just kind of a clean, just to kind of get the grime off to see where we're at and what next step we have to take for some of these. This is some kind of an amp meter here. All right, so let's see what we got. Oh, the glass is moving around a little bit. Hopefully it's not damaged. Not damaged too much where it can't be fixed. Okay. It just is amped. I'm trying to see if it's telling me, is it amps? I guess it could be AC or DC. I studied electronics in school for about 2 years, and it's been a long time, so I've not really have not kept up with it enough to really be good at all the terminology and everything, but I know enough to be dangerous. So, and that one looks pretty good. There, the glasses, or maybe the gauge underneath is a little bit yellow. Getting this off though might be an issue. I don't know if it's something that would just come off. We probably would have to remove everything, you know, from this point here. I'm thinking we take off this back cover, take out the meter, and then we'd be able to get to the glass and everything. That's just my guess right there. Let's move on to this one here. This is a voltmeter. It's not telling me if it's AC or DC volts. It's really hard to say. It's going up to 60 volts, so I'm thinking that's probably, it's 60 volts. I'm thinking that probably would be DC. This is AC volts. You'd think it'd be going up to like around 110 or 20, 120 maybe. Look at that one. Oh, that one looks pretty good. Yeah, this one didn't have a lot of extra, you know, stuff going on the inside, so I won't have to take that one apart. Let's see if we can clean it up there. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, the back's acceptable. I'm not really sure. I've sold lots of these online before, and I'm not really sure what people are using them for, but they could be using them maybe actually to measure volts, or they've got something they're trying to replace. Maybe they've got another project in mind where they're making something else and they want like a cool vintage look here. This is an AC amp meter. All right, let's see if good old rubbing alcohol can help me out here. Yeah, I kind of resist using things like Windex on because I don't know how it's going to react with, like if any of that were to get underneath there. Now there's also something written in here on the top with a marker or maybe a grease pencil or something like that. But the alcohol is not really, let's see, is it getting effective on there? Oh yeah, it is starting to wear it down a little bit. Let's see if I can bring it into view better for you. Huh. Well, not too bad. It's still got a ways to go here. I got to find out what to do. I may have to remove the glass from this one because they, I don't know, they wrote on it, so I'm assuming it's on the outside. Huh. Give one more hit of the alcohol. Maybe some goof off would do it. I mean, this is kind of, it's getting it. But it's just really, oh yeah, there it goes. It's just a really difficult thing to remove if it's a marker, like a permanent marker, or I don't know what it was. It's red. Well, I got some of it off there. And you see the glass is a little bit, floppy in there. It's not super tight in there. You know, it's just due to the age of the thing. So, yeah, not too bad. Yeah, it would be nice if I actually get in there and clean on the inside of that. So we'll see if we can take one of these apart and find out. Here's also something kind of cool that I came across too. It doesn't really need cleaning up exactly, but I thought I'd share it with you. This is an artificial horizon for an airplane. And you would, well, it's hard to show because of the direction of the camera, but this would basically tell you if you're flying at an angle or if your nose is pointed down or up. It's a little difficult to show because I'm holding it up on its end. It's meant to be read like this direction here. I thought that was just kind of a cool piece. I picked this up at an auction. If you've seen any of my other videos, it's in the same auction there. And it's in a pretty good shape. Everything seems to be working okay. It's full of oil. You know, you fill it up with oil back here. And I imagine that's what these are for as well. And then there would be an electrical connection right here, go to the plane. And then it would be mounted using, well, this is probably to adjust it here, but it would be mounted like a panel meter with these 4 screws in the front right into the dash of the airplane. I know it's probably not called a dash. I don't fly airplanes. But that's where it'd be mounted. So we'll come back and see if I get one of these apart and see if we can clean the inside of the glass. All right, let's take a look at this one here. This is the amp meter. And let's see if we can get this, see this thing come off so well. So I'm wondering if it's on the inside. I can feel a little bit of a rough spot there, but you know, let's see what we can do here. This one does have a screw in the front. And I'm not really sure if I should remove that one or not. Then there's got some screws on the side. One right there and a couple in the back, as well as these terminals here. So we'll start with those. Those are the easiest to remove. So let's see what happens here. This is where you connect the electrical wires to measure whatever you're measuring, in this case, amps. So I got those 2 off. Well, all right, let's remove this. That'd be nice if that's all I had to do. But it's never that simple. It'd be unusual to find Phillips screws on something this old. Yeah, I don't think so. They weren't. I don't think that they were widely used at that time. I mean, I don't know. These could be adjustments rather than things holding it together. Let's try again. Let's try the sides. Holding the back cover on rather than those inset screws, but okay, so those are clearly loose. I don't know, dare I? Oh, that is holding. I can see it moving around there, so that's holding that in place. So that I may not want to take that off. There's a couple screws on the front of that too. Well, I suppose if I can get this off. I mean, these screws are really loose here. Oh, it's backing up though. I can say backing up. Okay. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it all back together again. Probably have to refer back to the video here to find out how I did this. Yeah, that front one is holding the meter, the needle, the working part of the meter in place. Hopefully this will help persuade it to come apart. I don't want to mess anything up here. Because this plastic, whatever this is made out of, is very, there we go. It's kind of brittle. I'm not sure if it's Bakelite or what it is, but you gotta be careful. Okay, now let's see what we got inside here. Okay. Should be able to do it here. So the trick is to keep all of this in one place, in one piece here. So we'll set that aside. The dial itself looks pretty clean. This glass here, that's the troublemaker. So I guess we could remove that screw there. It seems to be what's kind of holding the glass in place. Oh no, I guess not. Yeah, this bezel, yeah, this whole thing, oh boy. This will come out, but it's... There we are. Yeah. There's a ring inside the bezel here that's kind of coming apart. Let's see if I can save it. There we go. Now kind of it's split. It might it's maybe supposed to be split so it fits inside of there. All right, so here's our glass and bits of junk that fell out of there. All right, well, we'll start with the rubbing alcohol again. See what that does, and if not, we'll have to go to something a little bit stronger to get the glass clean. I figure we'll start with the easiest part, you know, the thing that's the least of the least abrasive. Way to go. There we are. It's a little bit more. Making a little progress there. This is pretty thin glass, so you do want to be careful you don't accidentally break it while you're rubbing it and all that. So, well, it's still not coming off very well. We need something a little bit tougher. I don't want to scratch it. I was thinking about maybe something that's kind of abrasive, but I don't want to fog the glass either. Well, whatever this stuff is, it's pretty tough on there. I mean, it's probably 100-year-old dirt. How's that side been doing it there? It's on this side. Now, this side is pretty clean. It's smooth here. This side is this is the troublemaker right here, right along this edge here. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to scratch it, so I'm just being very careful. I need something that's not too abrasive. Yeah, it's coming off, so it's going to have to be taken off more physically than with chemicals. And I will look and see what that thing is. Okay, so the trick to this, draw that, is to put these screws in first before putting the assembly back into the housing. Let's see. Yeah, that's going in a lot better. There we are. That's what holds the two parts together, the front and the back. And it should hopefully be easier to install back in place with everything one solid unit here. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. There was a gap that was around this edge over here because the thing was not, solidly screwed together with these two. That's what I was wondering. They were kind of loose when I took them out, and that's what was causing that gap in there. Aha. Oh, much better. Wow. Okay. So let's put of course those don't line up. Ah, there we go. On the first try. Hopefully I got it on the first try. That one's good. That one's good. There. And there's our meter. Wow. Really cleaned up pretty well here. The glass is nice and clean. I have to put a little alcohol on that. I think I had some WD-40 or something. I think I made a shiny spot. I'll clean that up a little. Actually, that's just where the paint, I think that's where maybe the paint had worn off there. Well, not too bad. It's certainly worth a lot more money cleaned up than it was before. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll take care of all these other ones here and see if what happens when they're all cleaned up.